In the remote wilderness of Alaska, there lies a hidden village, home to a group of devout Russian Americans known as Old Believers.
The Old Believers, our life is religion.
Once closed off from civilization and ruled by their old ways, they survived by fishing treacherous waters. But a deep rift in their church would change life as they knew it forever.
The religion split. It's like they got poisoned against us.
Those that call themselves priestless left the community and settled into what is now known as the East End.
They put a chain across the road so you'd have no outsiders come in. They just give you an evil eye.
Those who remain struggle against nature and share fishing waters with their former comrades in an attempt to preserve their old-fashioned way of life. Old Believers live in the small village of Nikolaevsk, located on the Kenai Peninsula of Alaska. In this remote wilderness, faith and fishing collide. The village's survival is dependent on a successful fishing season, but the law of the land is clear. Faith always comes first.
Our religion is called Old Believers or Old Rite Orthodox. We pray every day, always depend on God for guidance.
Every generation of Old Believer is taught that the preservation of their religion is key to their survival as a people.
My parents, it was very important for them to preserve the heritage. They almost died for it.
For brother and sister Nick and Kira, nothing could be closer to the truth.
Our ancestors ran from persecution to save their religion. My grandpa, he died in a concentration camp. We want to hold on to that tradition. We're just trying to keep it alive.
For Nick and Kira, holding on to their faith is more than just tradition. It's also personal. Their father was the first ordained priest in the village and a catalyst for a split within their Old Believer religion.
My father was the main priest. When the split happened, I could never understand what we were hated for.
The torch has been passed to Father Nick, who is now the village high priest and spiritual leader.
The Old Believers, our life is religion. It's who we are. We're proud of our heritage.
And nothing is more important to him than his faith and the construction of a new church. His goal is to complete the church before next winter arrives.
We started this construction last year, but we used up the funds we had. We're still hoping that the fishermen, after their season, will bring in some more money, but so far they haven't. So at the moment, we're broke.
With Lent soon approaching, fishing season is right around the corner. And for the Old Believers, it can't come soon enough. The long winter has taken a financial toll on the community.
The winters in Alaska are waiting for summer to come and fishing to start.
Unlike many modern American communities, the lives of Nikolaevsk's residents are tightly intertwined.
Fishing is really important to Old Believers. We have an opportunity to make a lot of money. It works out for us because we don't work on holidays and Sundays.
Every boat in the community fleet needs to be in tip-top shape. The livelihood of the village depends on it.
Fishing, it's a make or break deal. But do it without your boat, you're parked for the whole season.
While the other men of Nikolaevsk are gearing up for fishing, one former captain is taking his son out to the wilderness on a hunting lesson. Hunting in Nikolaevsk isn't just for sport. It's a way of life.
Come on, kid. We'll get some rabbits.
Okay.
My grandfather, he was one of the people that established the Kalayas. He was a hunter. They used to hunt tigers. That was a way of life for them. He taught my dad to hunt, and now it's my turn. I'm teaching my kid how to hunt. See, here's a safety switch. And you see this bolt action?
Yeah.
They won't let you open.
Old Believers of Alaska traditionally lived a subsistence
Now
lifestyle.
you can put a bullet.
Yeah, okay.
And while hunting still puts food on the table, it is fishing that is critical to their survival.
My dad was a fisherman, so automatically that's what I was gonna do. Opportunity for me is to feed my family, make some money.
Nice.
Right on. If I have a good salmon season, that'll sustain me throughout winter, and I'd have to go find another job.
Dom is one of the only men in the community without a boat to fish this year. His brothers were recently given the responsibility of running their father's fishing business, leaving Dom the odd man out.
To start off on your own, it's gonna be a lot of money. I mean, everything's just so expensive. First of all, you have to have a boat. Second of all, you gotta have a permit, or somebody with a permit. I got a permit, boat. When the season opens up, you gotta make sure you got everything ready to go. I gotta find somebody. I gotta find a boat, or I gotta start looking. My little hunter. I have a few prospects I can talk to, but time is getting shorter and shorter.
The way of life for Old Believers has remained the same for generations. That still holds true for Dom's older brother, George, who was the first baby to have been born in these woods.
I like living in the Kalayas.
Shucks.
It's very great.
George is one of the rare bachelors living within the Old Believer community.
Oh, it's cold in here.
He lives without a bathroom, running water, or heat. He relies on a wood-burning stove for warmth in an old-fashioned outhouse. Historically, in Old Believer culture, men are expected to have a wife and a brood of children. It is customary that each generation have a large enough family so that the offspring can provide for the elders in the community. This is the way it has always been. And right now, George has neither.
I've been a bachelor since I got divorced. But I think I would mind having a family again, a small one. This is my room, but I hardly sleep in it. I sleep on the couch most of the time because I watch TV. I think it's most important for me to finish the house before I find a woman. My bathroom, my shower. I'm gonna put a toilet down here. Maybe a bidet for the chicks. A bidet is a toilet where it's like a bucket and the water shoots up, it washes your behind and stuff.
First things first, he needs a home with heat and running water.
Who'd want to be coming in the house where there's no toilet, running water? You know, females need to take showers more often than men.
The only way he can afford that is to have a successful fishing season.
Fishing is my livelihood. If I go fishing, that means I have something to eat and I can finish building my house.
In the village of Nikolaevsk, the monotony of long winter days takes a heavy toll. So over the years, the men have found clever ways to deal with the winter blues.
Hello?
Hey, garbage run.
Let's do it. Garbage run.
Right on.
Trash service doesn't exist in Nikolaevsk. So every week, the men band together to haul community trash 30 miles to the nearest dump.
It's taking forever.
I don't know, I'm getting a little thirsty.
It was like pushing a woman. That's unusual.
Guys, got beer!
Ah, not the garbage run.
I'll take the beer, you can get the garbage.
That's gonna fly out.
No, it's not.
There we go. May God bless you.
Hallelujah.
Garbage run is our deal where we work all day and then we decide to just go buy some beer, relax, have a good time, have our own little world for a while. These guys are married, I'm not, so they're all tense. Oh, we're getting away from the woman. Who, me? I don't get away from anything. The only thing I get away from is my wood stove.
We're gonna stop by a couple more places, pick up the rest of the garbage, help out the older folks.
I want to go garbage run to drink some beer. This guy makes me work before I go drink some beer. Go, sticks.
Well, George, it is garbage.
I want to go to Paris, Europe, Africa, and I especially want to go to Copenhagen, Denmark. I'd like to go see some naked chicks. I want to see them dance. You know what I'm saying? That toodaloo stuff. Shake it, shake it, shake it, baby.
George is just the gigolo.
Just the gigolo?
Everywhere he goes.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, pretty soon it's going to be level, this level.
Hang on, boy.
Get out of here.
Today we're moving a boat and try to fix it before fishing season starts.
I want to stand back here in case something flies off.
Flip out. It's just dangerous to move a boat like this. You have no clue what's going to happen. Here we go. Hey, Jim, get 2x4 and stop it at the boat.
The village of Nikolaevsk is coming to life after a long winter. The upcoming weeks could be make or break for the community as they prepare for the start of the salmon fishing season. It is full throttle ahead. But for Dom, it is a constant reminder of one thing. He needs a boat, and fast.
I haven't found a boat yet, so I'm in the process of doing that while I still have time before the season opens up. I look through the newspapers, or I go to a boatyard and look around, see where all the boats are sitting dry docked. You see if there's any for sale signs and whatnot. Other times, friends say, hey, this guy's got a boat, selling it for cheap.
You bringing him down? Look good from here.
Nick Fefilov is a seasoned boat captain and builder. But to get this old ship ready for the start of fishing, he and his team have their work cut out for them.
Today we're moving a boat. We're going to put it in the shop and try to fix it before fishing season starts.
It takes an experienced crew to transport a commercial fishing boat this size.
It's dangerous to move a boat like this. You have no clue what's going to happen.
In the old days, outsiders weren't allowed in the village. But even as the community tries to hold on to traditions, some things have changed. One outsider who has earned the trust of the community is Jim. He has become Nick's right-hand man.
I want to stand back here in case something flies off.
Even the slightest mistake can turn a routine boat move into a disaster.
Flip out.
The village depends on every able boat for income. So missing even one could be a costly burden to the community. Getting the boat on the trailer is just the first chore on a huge list of to-do tasks that Nick will have to address in the coming weeks.
That's what we want.
Having a boat is not what everybody thinks. It's a lot of work. The preparation, the maintenance, the repairs, it's endless. Every time we move a boat, we make sure the trailer is in good shape, we check the roads out, and off we go.
With everything set, they will have to navigate treacherous roads in and out of their isolated village. And to make matters worse, the roads are icier than normal for this time of year.
Trailer's broken.
I think the rear wheel slipped off its base.
Come back this way.
I hope it's not bad.
In the center of the village is the general store and post office. It is here that Nick's sister, Kira, works.
I work as a postmaster here in Nikolaevsk. That's the only job I've ever had. Me and my husband, we started it together, but he passed away The girls that are not married, they don't wear these. When you get married, you're not supposed to show your hair. Only your husbands should see it. Even when my husband passed away, my dad was a priest, and I asked him if I could take it off because I wasn't married no more. I became a widow. He says, no, once you put it on, you always have to have it on for the rest of your life.
Nick and Kira's father has always been a polarizing figure in the Old Believer community.
When my family came to this village, everybody was in the same church. As time went by, my dad always said there's something missing. There's something missing. That is when the split happened, the religion split. It was just a wedge of hatred, like boom, right in between us.
Having lived for generations without sanctioned religious leaders, a small group of progressives sought to formalize their religious practice, sending a select few overseas to become ordained priests. The acceptance of this priesthood created the bitter split between the Old Believers of Alaska. As individuals chose to remain priestless or follow the new priests, friends and families were torn apart in a dispute that continues to this day. One of the villagers caught between these two worlds is George. He was once married to a priestless woman.
My ex-wife, she's Bispopovska, without a priest, priestless. When I was younger, I went back to their church, the priestless church, got married, stayed there for 8 years, and decided to get back where my roots are. My heart didn't belong there. People from the priestless church, they are pretty much isolated, cut off from most of the world, I believe. The people here in Nikolaevsk that go into our church, they are more modern. They let you run your own life.
I'm building a good roof so I can have security and a solid foundation. That's what many women look for, security. The ideal wife for me would be somebody honest and would not cheat, would not bitch or... I mean, they all bitch, of course, but somebody that would take care of me, I'll take care of her. Have a good heart. Slippery.
Come back this way.
Nick Fefilov is transporting a boat to his shop to make much-needed repairs before the start of the fishing season.
We gotta fix the trailer. Jake, can you go up anymore?
But just as he and his team got started, things came to a screeching halt.
The rear wheel slipped off its base. They want to lift the trailer up, get the weight off the rear tires, pop it back in.
The pin came out that supports the axle. It's never happened before.
Yeah, dog. Say, try that.
I think we're in business.
All right.
Another day, another boat. This is the time we start hauling boats in spring. The roads thaw out. Before you move the boat, you gotta take everything off for the overhead wires. We've ripped overhead wires in the past, and the electric companies don't like it, so we just take precautions to do safety first. Always got a convoy. For anything over 12 feet, you need 2 pilot cars. Anything over 14 feet, you need 3 pilot cars.
As the convoy makes its way down the dangerous roads of Nikolaevsk, Nick knows the steepest incline is still ahead. Trucks and boats have been known to lose control and slide off into the ravine. They need to make every turn at just the right speed.
This is the most challenging part of the road. Down the hill and up the hill. Here we go.
As Nick and his team press on, Dom continues his desperate search for a boat.
Over Alaska, it's a quiet town. Majority of the Russians that live in this community, they're fishermen. The priestless, I see them out in the fishing grounds. I see them in the harbor. I've never liked their mentality. I remember when I was a kid, there was conflict all the time in Nikolaevsk. And priestless kids, they were rude to us, literally. And it was just a war with the kids. To this day, they won't bow down and say, "Здорово живешь," meaning, how are you doing? If you say hello, they'll just give you an evil eye.
Even if Dom is lucky enough to find a boat, He and the village are at the mercy of the sea. Some years are bountiful, while others, there is barely enough to survive.
It's not always good money. Sometimes you didn't catch that many pounds this season, and with all the overhead expenses on the boat, you get in the hole, and you're stuck.
Smell the diesel. You see all that smoke coming out. He's gearing down. Let's see if he goes up the hill all right. There you go. The challenging part of the road is over. Every spring, we put thousands of dollars into our boat, hoping that the season will turn out good. There's things on the boat that you fix every year. Spring comes, you have no choice. You gotta fix it now.
You're not gonna make it! The driveway's pretty icy.
Okay, bye.
Captain and boat builder Nick Fefilov and his team are transporting his boat to a shop in the remote village of Nikolaevsk, Alaska.
On the road again.
But the unusually mild winter and thawed spring ice have created dangerous conditions.
You're not gonna make it! It's very icy today and slippery surface. We got a four-wheel drive truck. The chain's all the way around, but the boat's just pushing it. So I think we'll switch over to a loader. You got to do everything you can do to stop from sliding, because once you start sliding, you're pretty much done for.
What we're going to do is hook up the loader to the back of the trailer so it can help guide them back down the hill. The extra weight of the loader is going to hold the boat back and keep from sliding out of control. Once in a while, a boat gets dropped and can cause all sorts of damage. A friend of mine had one last year that got dropped and knocked the cabin off of it. $20,000 worth of damage just in a second or two. You gotta be real careful. Scripts are expensive.
The winter months have taken a financial toll on the community, so there's a lot riding on getting this boat ready. Jim and Nick have a lot to accomplish in a short amount of time. Each day not being in the water could cost them thousands.
About time to work on this old beast.
Just a stone's throw away, Father Nick has arrived for an afternoon blessing.
When we went to Romania and got ordained over there, the first priest, he was not accepted by the community very well. Now we are divided. It has been a long time without the priestless. My hope and prayers are that it will heal.
But Father Nick has more pressing issues. His goal is to complete the church before next winter arrives. And to accomplish this, they need to come up with well over $100,000.
The church we have right now was built without a foundation. It's a temporary church. But that was the way our people built churches, because they were always running.
Old believers have always been on the run and desperate for a place to call home.
Now we build a church that's going to stand here for 200 years.
Nothing would symbolize that permanence more than the completion of the church.
Where does this go?
Over the sanctuary.
This is going to be the sanctuary. It's all going to be a dome. This is the cupola that's going to sit over the center of the church. He's building it in stages, and once he's done, we're going to put them all together and put it up there.
The onion dome, which will be the symbol of the village, will cost over $50,000 alone.
Once it's done, it's going to be very beautiful. But we used up the funds we had.
To complete construction, a successful fishing season will be crucial.
If we had the funds, we could probably finish it in a year. But this is a small community, so it might take a little longer. At this time, we don't know.
Old believer fishermen, Vars and George, are setting to work on their father's boat, the Almaz.
I'm broke. I think we're all in the same shoes. We gotta go fishing soon.
Like most fishermen in Homer, their boat has sat dormant all winter long. But when the season opens, they'll need to have it in tip-top shape. and this is their only opportunity to do so.
It's very important for us to get the boat prepared. This way we can have a good season. We don't have to worry about nothing else.
Each fishing team consists of a deckhand and a captain. Typically, a captain has the most experience on the water.
There you go.
It's windy, that's why it's not.
Yet, in Old Believer culture, the youngest male is given the most privilege in the family.
Now we're out. Hey, it's the wind. What am I gonna do about it?
So on this ship, older brother George is the deckhand, while the younger Vars is the captain.
It's all good. We're on our way out.
The name of the boat is the fishing vessel Almaz. Almaz means diamond. This boat is still my dad's boat. I just run it for him. All my brothers fished on it. First time I was in a fishing boat at age 8 when we went salmon fishing.
I got sick the first time, very sick. So Dad gave me some pickles and some bread and some pop. I felt better after that.
While his brothers are out on the water, Dom is back on the mainland and not any closer to his goal, being on a boat by the start of the season.
When kids come home for lunch, I'd like to make them a hot lunch. I'm not really too good at doing the traditional foods, but this is fast. By the time they come home, they're like freezing, warm food. They enjoy that.
Dom has assumed the role of caretaker in the family, while his wife is out working.
My wife, she has a 9-to-5 job, and I am not working now. So now I'm staying home with the kids, help out a little bit.
Now relatively common in the rest of society, this role reversal within Old Believer culture is practically unheard of.
Hey, how's school?
Long.
Long? Boring?
Yep. Yeah.
You guys hungry?
Yeah.
I got a boy, he's 7 years old, and a daughter, 13. Nowadays, it seems like more and more of our generation, they start forgetting the ways and the heritage. Акили, по-русски понимаешь? По-русски понимаешь, маленький?
Well, I don't know what that means.
George and Vars are heading across Ketchimak Bay in their father's boat, the Almaz, to do much-needed maintenance before the start of the season.
We're gonna go pull out the boat with the lift.
But this isn't ordinary maintenance. After the cold, long winter, each boat's hull and propeller needs to be inspected. And in this busy harbor, you only get one shot before opening day.
We gotta go in this way, because there's a big rock over there.
Well, I am.
Following the depth. Gonna see if I'm aligned with the lift.
I think you better go in a little straighter now, Vars. The rocks are a little off to the side.
Piloting the boat into the lift is a challenging proposition for any captain. But for Vars, the stakes are even higher with his more experienced brother on board.
I lift the boat out of the water a whole bunch of times. With the wind factor, you might hit the sides of the boat. You might not lift it up straight. You might slide down. But hopefully things turn out okay.
Yeah, if you guys want to start heading in this way, nice and easy, we'll see if we can't play catch.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Vars will have to thread the needle.
Usually the wind's usually blowing from that side, but unfortunately today it's blowing towards the shore, so it just pushes it in.
I got 8 feet here.
I got 6 feet here at the dock, so you got enough to float.
One mistake could destroy the hull and propeller and put the start of the season in jeopardy.
This place I don't come to. I heard horror stories. Hey, is the car coming? I think it's best I should go.
I think you better go in a little straighter now, Vars. Because the rocks are a little off to the side.
Old Believer brothers Vars and George are on a maintenance run aboard their fishing vessel Almaz. They're on their way to a boat lift in order to assess their winter's wear and tear. The Old Believer community is dependent upon every able-bodied fisherman to have a good season. And with only one shot to get this right, the season hangs in the balance.
Barney.
Doing good? Looks like we're already lifting.
The boat lift is a powerful machine that uses heavy-duty winches, cables, and support straps to raise and lower boats. The boat must rest precisely within the straps in order to ensure a safe move.
They're all twisted up. I went hard into reverse, spun them all off.
If not, the lift could malfunction and put the boat and its passengers at risk.
What do you want to do?
Great.
It is a worst-case scenario. The choppy waters twisted the lift straps just as the boat was moving into place.
The wind started picking up right before the tide came up. And as soon as we hit the pilings for the lift, the straps got folded together. If you crisscross the flaps, it's very dangerous for the boat to come up. You don't want to break your boat down, right, especially this time of year.
So you're gonna pull the straps out?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them straight.
The window of opportunity is closing by the minute. They will have only one more shot to make it in.
Yeah, this ain't happening, guys. As soon as I set the straps down there, the waves are curling my straps up already.
Today, the weather was not participating with us, and it's just too dangerous, so it's turning our schedule a little backwards.
George and Vars have no choice but to return to the harbor. They may not get another chance to prep their boat before the season opens.
Here's to our failing success.
We don't fail.
To good health.
After successfully navigating the icy and dangerous roads, Jim and Nick are ready to get this old bucket floating again.
How can we fix this rail?
Rip it all off. Start over here.
Typically, it takes months to get a boat this size ocean ready. But Nick and Jim have just weeks.
I've built boats since I was probably 14 years old.
How's the prop doing? A little bit of grinding on that, we can get that back to shape.
I helped my dad build boats, and that's how I learned. There was no formal training. Just go along and do the best you can.
What do you think you want to tackle first?
Start from the top. Start taking the rails down and start stripping her down.
And this is going to be a big job, you know.
Oh yeah, it's a boat. How I smell the fiberglass. This boat is top of the line boat. One of the better ones out there. But times has changed. We'll get her going. This thing will catch some fish. We'll call it the Fish Slayer. Right, Jim?
Fish Slayer, that's a good name.
Old Believers have many traditions, and one that dates back centuries continues to this day. Twice a week, the men gather in their saunas to blow off steam from a busy day on the water.
This is a traditional Russian sauna. Old-fashioned wood stove. This is used oil from the engines from the fishing boats. Instead of throwing it away, it starts up the fire quicker. You should have this thing ready within half an hour. Once you start up, family comes over or neighbors.
Yeah, I thought I seen somebody here. Steamy.
Talk about the day, talk about the next day, talk about fishing, talk about anything that comes up. Want a beer? And have a cold one.
Tonight is Dom's turn to host.
You both all prepped up, ready to go fishing?
Yeah.
But instead of enjoying the occasion, he is feeling the pressure of being the only fisherman without a boat.
Hey, I want to join the party. What the hell are you guys doing here?
There's no party, you're just starting the sauna.
In Old Believer culture, nothing is more important than family and friends.
Am I welcome in your sauna?
No.
But why is that?
Because you're putz.
Okay, brothers. Peace.
We'll see, we'll see.
At least for tonight, Dom will honor this tradition and will worry about finding a boat tomorrow.
You gonna behave?
Yeah, well, let's behave. Yeah, my belly's a little chubby.
Chubby, all right.
You think?
I love saunas. Now, everyone's got running water inside and showers and all that.
Hey, damn, it feels good.
But still, when you're exhausted, you steam, you rest. Judge, you need to put a bra on. Your nipples are showing.
I don't even know what size they are.
It's just very relaxing.
In the remote village of Nikolaevsk, Alaska, the great Lent season has arrived. It is one of the holiest times of year for Old Believers. But for Father Nick, this time of the year has added pressure. In addition to being the high priest of the community, he is also a fisherman.
Frozen solid, man.
That means if the church has any chance of being completed, he too will need to have a successful fishing season.
Heads up. Being a priest and a fisherman, it's not easy. I have no time to relax. I'm gonna stretch this webbing out here. I'm gonna start hanging it onto the cork line.
Father Nick and many other Old Believers fish salmon by gill netting. This technique uses a slippery monofilament net that is both cheap and highly effective.
It's very efficient. The fish can't see it very well at all. We keep reusing the line for years and years. We just attach the cork so it doesn't slide around on the line, put on new webbing every year, and it's a brand new net again.
Rewebbing the net is painstaking work. So Father Nick must carefully budget his time during the busy season of Lent. And even when fishing season arrives, his priestly duties extend to the sea.
I have to quit earlier on some days to perform services, and we have to be always prepared for emergencies. I'm basically on call 24/7. It gets pretty tiresome.
As we grew up, my parents fought to preserve tradition. As time goes by, I think all that they fought for might be getting lost along the way. Ladies used to sew by hand, but now it's all machine work. We normally make a dress for a special occasion, so I'm gonna wear it tonight when I make dinner and invite my family over. Before, we weren't allowed to date Americans. It was only supposed to be Old Believers marrying Old Believers. Now we marry out of Old Believers. We date right now. The times are definitely changing.
Lent is only a few days away, and that means long weeks of fasting. It also signals that fishing season is just around the corner. But before both commence, the community comes together for a final celebration.
In our community, during Lent, the villagers and everybody come together. Definitely, the church is the catalyst. This is fun, and the woman would cook up a big meal, and there would be wine flowing, and the church teaches us to love each other, right?
Tonight we're celebrating. Lent is coming up. We're gonna start fasting, so we need to fill our stomachs, eat a little more, drink a little more. I want to have a few beers and all.
And you want to lose weight?
Of course I'll lose weight. Get a six-pack.
George, you'll only drink a six-pack. You will never get a six-pack.
Six-pack? You already have a 12-pack.
Unfortunately for Dom, there is little cause for celebration. His time has run out, and that means he must resort to desperate measures.
Time is getting shorter and shorter. I haven't found a boat yet. So I have a few people that might have something, or they know somebody else will have something.
Dom has a contact who says there may be a boat in the last place he should be going. A priestless village in the East End.
I haven't found a boat yet to go fishing. Run the boat or captain the boat myself.
With fishing season drawing near, Dom is running out of time to find a boat. He's heard a rumor of an available vessel and quietly snuck away during the community's pre-Lent celebration. There's only one catch. It's located in a priestless village Dom has never dared to visit.
The priestless community left Nikolaevsk. Now they all live down in these communities here in Kachimak, Razdolna, Voznesenka, and as you get to the switchback, there's another Russian community there called Kachimak Silo.
The Switchback is a narrow and death-defying mountain pass that is accessible only by off-road vehicles. Dom will meet his contact at the bottom, and he has come prepared. As the pre-Lent feast winds down, the old believers of Nikolaevsk make their way to church for an all-night service. And so begins many long weeks of strict fasting, prayer, and reflection. It's a tradition shared by both the priestly and the priestless, yet their intense rivalry continues. And even on a hallowed night such as this, Dom knows all too well his kind isn't welcomed in the East End.
I remember as a kid, they used to put a chain across the road so you'd have no outsiders come in. They raised them to have tunnel vision. It's called control. To this day, I'm not sure what are they fighting over, how is it supposed to be or not supposed to be. You pray to the same God. I don't know, it baffles me sometimes how these people, how their minds work.
Even though there are strong religious differences, this could be Dom's last chance to find a boat.
This is the switchback, they call it. I heard horror stories on the switchback. The road, it's treacherous.
As Dom prepares to change vehicles, he must remain vigilant to not be found out by the priestless community.
This place, I don't come here because I don't have anybody to visit. I mean, I have no family here. I came down here to talk to a friend of a friend, and he said he's got maybe a boat available so I can go fishing this summer. I have this one opportunity to come here, check it out. Yeah, I don't want to draw too much attention. I don't know negativity. Don't know how the community will take it.
Little does he know, Dom is not alone.
Hey, there's a car coming. Probably one of the community's residents. I think it's best I should go. I don't have no problems. Hey, cut the camera. After I was switchback, I came back to the village, and my neighbor asked me if I want to go fishing with him.
Here we go, back in the ocean. I like Dominic. He's a go-getter. He's not gonna quit until he's done.
Every year, it's a gamble. You don't know what you're gonna get. But that's what this community is about. You have to check it out.
It's gonna be rough, George.
When you have somebody that you can lean on, it gives you peace of mind to know that if something does happen, you're coming home safely.